believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I'm a person who will spike the conversation, who will get politics rolling and stimulate new questions and new answers to our current political dilemma facing our nation. I believe I have a keen understanding of the economy and how to improve where we're at relative to other nations around the world. I believe that our goal at America's Third Party was to create a very strong platform in which would propel the American people forward with new opportunities and a new possibility of creating a better nation, a cleaner environment, and less war. I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim, and this is Freedom Friday. I'm wearing the tie with all the presidents on it tonight. All the great presidents, not Bill Clinton, not Barack Obama. I kind of prefer to have his face removed from the, but I can't. I have to take a magic marker and blacken it out. And then people would think I would be racist, and I'm not, if I blacked out his face. But I don't think he was a good president at all. In fact, I think Barack Obama and his wife, or shall I say husband, deceived us. I'm one of those people that still believe that Barack Obama was born in Kenya, Mombasa, Kenya. And you can laugh at me all you want, but every bit of evidence out there that's been presented shows that that birth certificate, long-form birth certificate, was completely fake. But I know that's old news, and I don't want to talk about that. I'd rather talk about something more relevant to today. And we've got a lot of people who are in Brazil very happy that Lula, a very famous man who was a leader in Brazil, has been released. And I want to thank the Brazilian people are now looking to him as possibly vindicating any of the charges against him. So that's a good thing for the Brazilian people. Now, yeah, we're seeing all kinds of BS coming from different angles. Republicans are spinning this as the Democrats are just corrupt as hell, and that they're doing this because they want to cover up their own corruption. Now the Republicans somehow got headline news. This is the end of the beginning on impeachment. Okay, let's take a look at this. Who bought this news item? CNN. If the impeachment investigation of Donald Trump were a play, the first act would now close. Oh, okay, so this is a CNN bias.
I'm not concerned about anything. The testimony has all been fine. I mean, for the most part, I never even heard of these people. I have no idea who they are. They're some very fine people. You have some never-Trumpers. It seems that nobody has any first-hand knowledge. There is no first-hand knowledge. And all that matters is one thing, the transcript. And the transcript is perfect. Mark Levin last night on television, who's a great constitutional lawyer, he broke it down. He said, what Trump said, and he was respectful, he said, President Trump, what President Trump said was perfect on the transcript. What he said on that telephone call with the president of Ukraine was perfect. He said nothing else matters. And what he said was perfect. And he analyzed it, every line, every paragraph.
It turns out that the transcript was not properly transcribed. So there are 12 witnesses that say it's not perfect, that he did tie the Joe Biden dirt, in political dirt, to the $400 million that he was going to give Ukraine to retain their defenses against Russia. So if you can imagine a president using our national security and the security of the Ukrainian people as a bargaining chip in order to get dirt on his opponent, now you're beginning to understand why Donald Trump is being impeached. He's done this with China too. He threw his own personal debt with China in front of our national debt. And you got to understand, this guy is doing a trade deal with China now. Supposedly they're going to work toward getting rid of these tariffs, both parties, and now the stock market has recovered somewhat. So that's a good thing. Yesterday was up 183 points. Today it was up 6 points. So we're still very fickle as we go into the weekend, not knowing if trade talks will truly make a difference with China. But remember, Trump threw his own trade barriers with China in front of his own trade talks with China. So this is a pattern he's involved in. It's a pattern of using the position of America's president inappropriately. Misuse of power. Now, I'm not going to ban Jimmy Carter, but I had to ban a guy pretending to be Jimmy Carter. It's not him. So just bear in mind. Now, we've got people threatening us on daily lives. Many people don't realize, but in America, I'm very censored. The reality is we've been censored so much and we've been so popular at the same time that people just don't get it. They don't go, well, why can't anyone get into your chat room? We've got 4 chat rooms rolling right now. All of them are controlled. All of them have gatekeepers. We don't want a chat room with a gatekeeper. We used to have open chat rooms 10 years ago where we could get anybody to come in, guests could come in. But even Twitter requires you to sign into Twitter to become a chatter here. But if you're watching me around the world on UHF and can't chat, I'm fully aware of the views that you guys are giving us and the popularity of our show. It's almost unbelievable. In fact, Sarah doesn't believe it at all. But that's okay. People are watching us in early morning shows in the Philippines, in cafes, in China. We're definitely reaching out to a lot of people, and the message about a third party is resonating among the world. Yet the people of the American people cannot even hear about us. Only 1 million people have been contacted. And we don't get enough donations to really maintain this effort except through the kindness of myself and Sarah. We're willing to give our time for free to this effort every night, and have so for the past 11 years. And no other show in the world has done this level of regularity, 6 hours to 8 hours, 9 hours we used to do. We're now down to 8 hours a day. So you can always catch us at coolrock.com for more information. That's the thing. We're setting up another site so you can just check out the chats all at the same time. We have coolrock.com, a Cool Rock online community set up for you to actually look at the show and interact. We've got music too you can play. Anything you can do to keep yourself activated. We've got all these fun things that are free and it's totally private. There is a tracker strictly through the Scraplet organization. They track a few cookies, but other than that, there's hardly anything going on at your website, and we're not tracking your privacy. We also have great buttons to some of the coolest areas in the world. Web Oasis is, I think, the best place to hang out, and that's got drop-down menus that take you all around the globe in every area. You can't find this on Google, and which makes Cool Rock kind of an interesting alternative site for all of you to watch. All right, moving on. You're welcome. So Donald Trump is going to deny anything that's in the transcript, even though he redacted the transcript. And then he has a new attorney. He put the whole transcript the entire any audio files that they may have into a lockbox that's so secure it's a top secret lockbox at the White House. Now, Daryl wants to turn on his camera over there. I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to turn your camera on. We have open cameras over at iVlog. Yes, if you guys want to participate, you can. Scissorfight was kind enough to help us with maintaining the show this month, and I really appreciate that. Now let's take a look at a picture that just came in that Scissorfight presented. Yeah. We've got a How Dare You song too. A little parody of Trump going to jail. Okay, that goes along with the theme of Trump going to jail. Let's take a look at a new meme that just popped in. And it's just a picture really, but it's funny. And Trump is looking more and more guilty in the eyes of many people the more he tries to defend himself, saying it's all a Russian hoax. The same wording he's used all along without even defending the specifics. And now he's saying it's a perfect transcript. Doesn't this epitomize what we're dealing with here? A man who's willing to take money, take support from Russia, and win the election cheating, never tell the FBI that he was cheating, and then goes ahead and now misuses power, obstructs justice, which is the qualification for impeachment. So yeah, in lieu of all the things that we've got to deal with, we have a number of stalkers that somehow, whenever I unban all, they come back in force. So normally I have these people in check, but they come back now in force. They have over 200 names that they keep reusing. It's kind of funny. Let's play this parody. Okay, you got a Mr. Bean for tonight? First Class Flight, Mr. Bean? Okay, I'll play that later. That's more comedy oriented. This is comedy oriented, but it's political in nature.
Lying about everything, don't matter if it's small or big. Trying to solicit other countries to election rig. Taxes unpaid.
Okay, unfortunately, I can only play 24 seconds of this song because it has to meet and comply with the Digital Millennial Copyright Act requirement of 24 seconds. And I kept it at that threshold so that I can go ahead and file a dispute with YouTube when they go ahead and file a dispute with me. I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah. I would love to play that song, but, I'm going to be monetized. You know that. Because the song itself was a cover song for another group. But great. I can't wait to play that later tonight. Now, back to the meat and the potatoes of the situation with Trump. The transcript of the key diplomat's testimony in the impeachment inquiry was released. Again, that was a redacted transcript. We don't know if that's really what he said. Public impeachment hearings will start with a bang. Now, Republicans are upset that they have to all go to these impeachment hearings. Yeah. They're all coming out of the woodwork again to go do this again and testify. Yeah, William Taylor, ambassador to Ukraine, he'll be speaking first to testify tomorrow or Monday. He's an astoundingly credible witness, straight from the central casting, as Trump himself likes to say about some of his appointees. Okay? And the content of Taylor's deposition was extraordinarily damning. So this is going to be like the Big Bang theory. Yeah, okay. And I think we're done with, what we know right now is that 12 people said, yeah, Donald Trump wanted to work a deal with getting dirt on Joe Biden. And he's going to do it. So, yeah. We know that Trump misused power. Is that alone enough? The Republicans are saying, well, there's no story with the Republicans and the Russians. They're saying there's no story with Donald Trump firing Comey. The Mueller report was very clear. No, it wasn't. In fact, Mueller didn't even have a complete report. It fell short of even going to the second trial of Paul Manafort, which would have showed money laundering and oligarchs giving money over to Donald Trump. We would have known for sure with that second trial, but Mueller didn't do the second trial. Do you know why he didn't do the second trial? because he claimed that he was filing charges against Roger Stone, a character that nobody really thinks is even remotely connected to this story. That's still pending. 9% of the Mueller report, a 448-page document, has been redacted because of Roger Stone. So apparently Mueller threw the Roger Stone stumbling block in front of the entire Congress. So this guy is the reason why we don't have any more information about Paul Manafort, and he's the reason why we haven't followed up with 9% of the redacted report. So we Americans haven't even heard the dirt that Donald Trump has committed with Russia and the oligarchs because of a stupid trial with Roger Stone awaiting, and this man looks completely innocent to me. In fact, I kind of like his glasses. I think he's playing it pretty cool, but he's got attorneys defending himself. Mueller called this guy out as being some sort of a bad person. I'm not a bad person, Dave. I'm just a guy who's been in the middle of a news story all my life. Well, I know. I hear you, buddy. But no, seriously, we're going to have to get past the Roger Stone case, which is clearly a stumbling block created by you-know-who, Robert Mueller. Okay, moving on. They probably were drawn on. Who cares? Bottom line is he likes sunglasses. Is there anything wrong with that? Man, I saw some sunglasses the other day that I want to buy a pair. I really do. I'm very seriously thinking of getting these Maui Jims. They are pretty cool looking, I'll tell you. Let me see if you like them. They make these things with reading glasses that are completely hidden at the bottom of the glass. Aren't those cool? And they make them so they have little reading glasses, secret reading glasses on the bottom, which, you know, I kind of like because, you look down, you want to see something clear, up close and personal. Anyway, those are like $200. I don't know. It's a pretty expensive Christmas present, I can tell you. They look pretty nice, aren't they? Maui Jims, they have the best polarization of any glass on the market. That's what the guy said. You don't like line readers? Okay, the new GOP Ukraine defense. Let's take a look at that. Outlining the Ukraine defense as the GOP is scramming. Trump didn't even have an attorney to represent him. He had Giuliani when the whole impeachment thing, the gavel came down. Now he's hiring a couple other people, but he really doesn't have a good, strong defense. Okay, I've got another story about one of the Republicans in the lineup. I'll talk about that in a second. Okay. New GOP Ukraine defense. Trump was just a patsy for Sondland. They're throwing Sondland under the bus, claiming Sondland was the one that wanted the dirt on Joe Biden. Sondland didn't have any particular need to get dirt or quid pro quo on Joe Biden. How absurd to throw Sondland under the bus. Drag King, I told you. I'm not going to allow that here. What about no, do you not understand? I know, Sarah might actually go with me and shop. I think I want to try them on and see what they look like on me. Washington Post reports House Republicans are formulating a new impeachment defense of Trump rather than deny that the extortion scheme took place or defense that extortion is a legitimate exercise or defend that extortion is as a legitimate exercise in foreign policy. They plan to make the case that his deputies could have acted on their own to influence Ukraine policy. So the whole scheme was going on right under Trump's nose without his knowledge or participation. It's the same defense that Ronald Reagan had when the Iran-Contra occurred. He actually he had no idea that Iran-Contra was happening. Well, I don't know anything. Ask Don Regan about this Iran-Contra thing. I don't know. Yeah, he had no idea. And they let him get off. Ronald Reagan got off on those charges. So the same defense they're using with Trump now, which is absurd, because Sondland would have no interest whatsoever in getting information on Joe Biden. How absurd. I mean, this is ridiculous. Having to throw some lowly guy under the bus. Hey, how dare you? Thank you for featuring me on iBlog. Welcome to the show. Bolton's going to talk. He knows about many relevant meetings on Ukraine. And, of course, John Bolton and Trump clashed on foreign policy. And I know a lot of Republicans are clashing on foreign policies when Donald Trump decided to do what Putin wanted to do and pull out of Syria. Yeah, so a lot of Republicans are maybe not going to vote in favor of Donald Trump when the Senate finally decides, if the Senate has to decide. Trump has really pissed off a lot of senators. But one senator in particular is facing problems of his own. A guy who's been called in to be the arbiter, the Republican arbiter in the hearings, longstanding Senator Jordan, has now a problem of his own to deal with. Yeah.
A new lawsuit reportedly claims that Representative Jim Jordan was told directly about misconduct by disgraced Dr. Richard Strauss when Jordan was an assistant coach at Ohio State University. A referee, who is only identified as John Doe 42, filed the lawsuit on Thursday. In it, he claims that he reported to Jordan an incident in which Strauss was seen masturbating in front of him in a shower after a wrestling match, according to NBC News. The suit reportedly said that Jordan and then head coach Russ Hellickson said, quote, "Yeah, that's Strauss," in response. John Doe 42 is the second person to say they directly told Jordan about Strauss's actions, according to NBC.
So basically, Jordan didn't do a damn thing when somebody walked up and said, "Hey, this guy has been masturbating in front of me, this coach." Yeah. And that guy was accused of 47 counts of rape, the man that Jordan didn't report. And this went on, and had Jordan reported it, that man wouldn't have had 47 counts of rape, 1,427 accusations of molestation. That guy wouldn't have done it. Stroking in the boys' room. Yeah, that's what was going on, and the guy was very offended, and he told Jordan about it. I don't blame the guy for speaking out. I would have been freaked out too. Of course, if you walk into a YMCA in Hollywood, you're going to see somebody stroking themselves, so it depends on where you're going, you know. All right. You're getting colder in the shower. I know the weather is starting to get chilly. The weather outside is chilly. Yeah, we're getting some Christmas activity going on. I talked about the Pope earlier in the pre-show. I don't want to miss this story because it's so weird. WND has the story that the Pope is denying the resurrection of Jesus. Now, many people believe this is the Black Pope. And since Pitoris doesn't come in the show, nor does the other guy who works for the Pope, I have to just start reeling on the Pope at this point. Yeah, Pope Francis already has been accused of heresy by prominent Catholic clergy, but now his longtime friend and interviewer is claiming the South American-born pontiff denies one of the foundational doctrines of the Christian faith, that Jesus Christ rose from the dead in bodily form. Yeah. Eugenio Scalfari, a left-wing atheist journalist, published the remarks. Well, you know, I'm not going to worry about it right now. We can pass on that. We also talked about the Vatican looking like a snake head. Anyway, I don't want to go there right now. Oh, there it is. I guess I'm going there. Yeah, you can't help but notice the inside of the Vatican looks like the inside of, or the snakes with a viper, and then the outside looks like the head of a snake too. It's like, what are they thinking over there? Anyway, we're on to Freedom Friday now. Let's talk about discussions that make sense for politics. Talking about the Vatican is more religious, right? So Rudy Giuliani has basically fried his position just the other day. He's been going along pretty well defending the president, but now it's kind of weird. He's saying that Ukraine quid pro quo intended to benefit Trump personally. That's exactly what we're accusing him of, Rudy. If he had taken the attitude that Donald Trump was trying to get the corruption charges on Ukraine in order to give them the money, make sure that they were handling corruption properly. But no, Ukraine now became a personal issue, according to Giuliani. So this guy's mouth is getting Trump in all kinds of trouble. And people say this will flip the case against Trump, being Giuliani was the lead guy on this. Yeah. Hi, Sarah. Some people are atheists in our room. They think that Jesus was a myth. Well, that's your problem. So how was your day?
Okay.
Good. I constructed this, I just want to make you aware that I have this program running in the background. It's a port monitor. I don't want to talk about specifically what it is, but it's this one. And I may have locked up the access from that computer with it. So what we have to do is open up this tool and then allow that access. If you have a problem, it shouldn't be an issue.
Try it.
Sarah's going to try to see if she can go through XSplit and see the program. All right. Amazon removes children's daddies. I don't want to, yeah. Let's talk about that later. Okay. Amazon, of all places. Removing a shirt that was very disturbing. Giuliani is connected to Trump, not Obama. He's Trump's best friend. He's done a lot of work with Trump. He's actually done a pretty good job of defending Trump in the Russian case. I'm not here to make it seem like I hate Trump. I don't. Nor do I hate Giuliani. I'm a person who wants to get to the bottom of this and see really if they are up to this, trading the position and power position of the president for dirt on their opponents. That's just totally illegal. Yeah, I saw that Twitter, how a city of Florida is using the electoral process to turn people into Muslims. I'll look at that too when I come back. Very strange stuff. All right. Trump has stolen 15 of my ideas, so it doesn't surprise me. If you guys are worried about Trump resigning, which he very likely will, remember, we're here for you. We're going to talk about stuff that is important to you. And ironically, 15 of the ideas that Trump stole are still very prominent in our plan for America. So it does work.
Yeah.
It opened up a gateway through the internet. Good. Well, I closed down ports that could be damaging and people could hack into our computer otherwise. Yeah, I found out that, there's access points. Computers are very vulnerable, and if you don't have the right software to prevent your computer from being hacked into, anybody, on a show like ours could be attacked. And this is the last thing. We're not going to allow you in the show because you're not allowed to use the N-word. I warned you 3 times here. I don't know. How dare them? What's wrong with those people? So Sarah's going to put this together. I'm going to let you get in. You can even take this chair if you want.
Okay, whatever.
She'll take over. She's going to do a little technical thing because she's learning well, you can explain it.
I'm trying to learn a little bit about Arch Linux on VirtualBox. Yes, you have good news for me. Yay. The screen cap works. Yay. I know. I was having some troubles with it, but I got it now. I think. You changed your name to Alex. Does that make you feel better? Whatever makes you feel better. Rather than Shadow. I mean, that way you shouldn't live in the shadows. Like, legally or... I kind of figured that was the case, but it was because it was still going to DOS. Okay, so first, should I install... I think the first thing I should do is... Alright. Don't worry, it'll go much quicker. Alright, okay, just a sec. I will download the updated Arch ISO. Alright. I'm in. I don't know if that's right. I feel like that's a little bit off, so. Alright, let me close out of this then. The VirtualBox. This. I want to power off this machine. Shall I, in VirtualBox, shall I remove these? And how do I remove these? Oh, pretty simple. I go, why, you can't really see that because it's in the wrong spot. So I just click it, like left click it, and then I click remove, delete all files, and then I'll remove the Manjaro thing too, delete all files. Where did I actually put Arch Linux after I downloaded it? Well, here, but then didn't I, is that just the ISO? So I can delete that. Good. All right, now I have to go and download the, wait, you're going a little fast for me, that 20 gigabyte. I feel like I missed something. 20 gigabyte hard drive for 346. Oh, don't worry, I'll show you. I can expand out so you don't have to use a magnifying glass. All right, I just went backwards to go forwards, right? Okay, I got it. But this is actually not right because this is not what my screen looks like now. I don't know if it's because I closed out of Arch Linux or what, but that's okay. I'm going to remove it. You need to give away 10%. Don't worry, be happy to anyone that you feel like. And believe that you live in abundance. Don't go from a mindset of drift. All right, let me go back and add the source again. Oh, I totally didn't say what I was. Oh no. Of whatever you own. Yeah. Homemade gifts are great. Regifting is great. All right, you said 20 gigabyte. Can we? 20 gigabyte hard drive, 4096 RAM. I'm going to ignore that unless you write it again. Yeah, that would be good. People, and yeah, you could bake cookies. I didn't say give 10% to everybody. I said give 10% away. All right, now it's, oh, what? Okay, I keep having this problem. How did I do this last night? I might have had to restart it. But anyway, first things first. You don't really need to see me do this. I close out of this and I need to go to Arch Linux. Let me first open up this chat room over on my other computer, and then I'll look at Arch Linux and try to download the latest ISO. Here. What? Come on. Did the computer get pulled off? No, I'm really confused. I'm gonna close out of that. Oh, it locks up on me. Why? That's ridiculous. Wait, okay, I'm moving something over, but why is it not typing? And it's messing up my screen. Okay, here we go again. I'm gonna restart my computer. That sucks. I just I totally just went backwards because I totally just deleted it. That's good, don't worry, be happy. Dyeing your hair will make you feel better. Because of the way pheromones work, America's the best one. Your nose is aligned to certain pheromones. It better not do a stupid... whatever that is. You're in a conference with 30 advisors, all men. A woman walked in. You didn't see it. You smelled her in less than 10 seconds. Wow. Like her perfume? But you don't think that was a good smell? No, smells aren't smells. I mean, if smells were smells, then cookies would smell like apples. Smells are different. I sometimes do take naps on the weekends. I get about 8 hours of sleep a night, sometimes less. I try to get 8 hours of sleep a night. I usually go to bed like 10:30. Prefer to go to bed like to get 9 or 10 hours of sleep a night. But I usually get 7. Sometimes I used to get 6. I usually go to bed at 10:30, wake up at 6:30. And my youth? Do you mean youth? I think he prefers men. America's the best one. I'm not aware of that, Preparation H. Good to know. Thank you, Safeway. Good point, Truth Hurts. Good point. Okay, I'm going to close out of this. I'm going to go to Arch Linux. Well, now I'm aware that David's actually Jim Morrison. I wasn't aware of it before. Yeah, he's not the one that knows how, Shadow. He doesn't know how to do that. I believe the way to find a good woman is to go up to every woman and tell her that she's beautiful and you would like to go on a date with her. At least every woman you do find beautiful. All right. So this came out on November 1st. So, oh, now I've got to pull this back up and see if I'm doing this right. So silly. Wait, that's not it. Cancel. I think he just doesn't like women. If he doesn't like how women smell. You should definitely go with someone that you like the smell of. I have been called for jury duty, but then I've never actually served jury duty because I don't know if it's just because I live in a small town or something, but my they just haven't needed me. All right, here on the Arch Linux site, do I need to scroll down to the mirror and that's what I did? Okay, American Mirror. American Mirror! Listen, I've got to download Arch Linux. Wow, I have to go all the way down to the United States. These aren't in alphabet, are they? Maybe they are. Okay, getting there. S. United Kingdom, United States. I like the name advancedhosters.com. I'll do that. Now in here, do I get everything? Arch Linux Bootstrap. Get the largest file. Okay. Okay, got it. Holy moly. Hopefully that's not true. Okay. You don't have to change the world to find a decent girl. Good. It sounds like you really love some men out there, Truth Hurts, and you don't like them seeing be hurt by women. And I agree, a good woman is not going to ask you for your money. You don't need to give women, I do believe in giving your money away, but good women will not ask you for a dime, and in fact, a good woman like me will support you in all of your endeavors, however far-fetched they seem. You might be right, Preparation H. I do think, I like the idea of a man that can take charge, but also compliments me. About once a week. You should wash your hair. Well, I thank you for doing this for me, Miss Anthropy. And, thank you for learning with me and for me. Can I play American Woman? No. Because I'm recording my show. There were some women and you didn't get stuck with them. Good. Top 10 Bond songs. And you think I'm very Washington? I probably am very Washington. No, it's not done yet. It's only downloaded 204 out of 635 megabytes. Why is it stopped? It stopped downloading. Should I go find someone else? Can I refresh it? How do I know which mirror to pick? Let me go back. I think my computer's just slow. No, okay, never mind. I'll still download if I go back out of it. It should, shouldn't it? I probably just messed up again. How is that? How does a guy balance that out? A guy being a jerk but nice. What do they mean specifically by that? I know, America's the best one, totally. I totally just messed up. I'm gonna close out of this. I'm gonna close the program. Chrome is not responding. I don't want them to look for a solution for me. Thank you. I just want to try this again. I don't know what this is. It's weird. Oh, come on. Maybe I'm going to go to the Epic browser. Maybe you're right about that stupid Chrome thing. I'm going to try this again. I am very persistent. What you mean is the guy needs to be a jerk sometimes, such as if the woman is being a total jerk to the guy, then the guy must stand up for himself and not sugarcoat it. I agree with that. And he should get to the point, even he may seem like a jerk to the woman, she will love him for it. It shows his dominant side. That's true. A man should say what he wants and... Oh my goodness. What the heck is wrong here? I should just be patient, but I am not. I just think something's wrong with my computer. Dennis, demonstrate value, engage physically, nurturing dependence, neglect emotionally, inspire hope, separate entirely. What is that, from a certain movie or something? I might. Oh, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Okay. Sorry, Shadow. All right, moving on. That's not working for me either. Maybe. Can't even type. I know you can't see what I'm writing. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Duh, Sarah. Wait, that's not even what's on my computer right now.
So, how's everything going?
Not.
Not really. Okay. It's disconnected from the internet or something?
No, it's just not.
Oh, okay.
It's just not.
It's not working. Okay.
I'm going to restart my computer again. And
Yeah.
I'm going to delete this downloaded file, whatever that was.
Okay. Trial and error. I hear you. Hey, pirate, that's illegal.
I'm
here.
sorry.
No, that's okay.
I wasn't a... Never mind. Yes.
Really? That's interesting. So Preparation H is doing an experiment with a woman he met, where at first he was really nice to her, but it didn't work, and now he's starting to treat her, disregard it like a jerk, and she's more interested in it. Interesting. Maybe you're now unapproachable, which makes you more appealing. That makes sense. I wouldn't say that's a template to work with, though. That's really the wrong way to approach things. Being a jerk, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and I'm cooking Brussels sprouts right now, so I'm just going to let them cook in the microwave and hang out with you, my favorite person who's not having a good time on the computer.
Oh, thanks.
I'm so sorry that things aren't working for you.
Oh,
But,
you're nice.
you've had a long day. You should take a break and then come back to this. I don't think we should have it like a priority for technical. I think the fact we even do it is great. But keeping our expectations minimal is better for less hassle in the long run, I think. Yes, well, we all shower here. Many of us shower. We have showers in our houses.
And I don't understand why this always pops up now.
I saw that on one of the startups, but not the
It's
most
every
recent.
time.
Really, now it's
Every time.
Yeah. That was the first startup, but today it didn't pop up. It was the weirdest thing. When I started up the computer today, it didn't pop up. I did notice that previously, though. So how do we get America to eat healthy? I've been seeing nothing but fast food restaurants serving lots of food, and we're seeing fast food restaurants serve better food too. So that's one way to do it. And we don't want to stop the restaurant industry. People love to eat different types of food, so the more healthy, the better. So I say just keep going in that direction for fast food restaurants, and we'll be going in the right direction. Tim Hortons has a vegan burger or something, the Unburger. No one ever thought they'd enter the lunch business, but why not? I mean, they serve breakfast. Why not make the lunch, part of their deal? What infection are you talking about? Did your doctor get back to you on that infection? What are you talking about, Guest 966? A virus or something? No, our computers are clean. I did a virus check. We're good. Okay, Tim Hortons sells beer. I don't know. They sell an Unburger. You misheard me, Shadow.
Beyond Burger.
A Beyond Burger. It's made of non-GMO soy, which is good. It's not genetically modified soy, which is the thing you got to worry about. But men are a little concerned about eating a lot of soy products because it has an ester in it.
I don't know.
Yes, inflammation can occur whenever a person is suffering from any type of an internal disorder. So I don't know what you're talking about, Guest 966. You'll have to get back to me on that. You've been doing some research and you found out that I'm actually Jim Morrison. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
he's been doing all kinds of research. He thinks women like men that are jerks, and that you're Jim Morrison. And
He's out there, man. He's gone. That's the same guy that lied about being 96 years old. I mean, you can't trust the thing he says. He said he was 96 years old, and I finally got him to out himself when I revealed that he has a green car in his front yard. And how would I ever know that? It freaked him out. Maybe soy is kind of a neutralizing agent, lowering your testosterone and boosting your esters. Not Jim Mortensen or Mortimer Schnurrdson, but Jim Morrison of the Jors. No, I don't even look like him. That's absurd. Well, if it's cooked on the same grill as meat, the point is you're not eating the actual animal, you're eating the soy product that tastes like meat. Duh. I'm looking at other types of meat products that, they're coming up with worm burgers, future maybe even petri dish meat, like Sarah was talking about, like the chicken burger made out of petri dish, something that grows in a petri dish. I don't really like that idea, but Sarah likes the idea. She said it would be okay. As long as it tastes like chicken. It doesn't have... then I thought, well, what if they turn cancerous tumors into meat, Well, that's kind of weird. That's definitely weird. I don't think that... We're not going to dine on that. Yeah, I think we've reached the point of talking about genetically modified food. Can we move on? Okay. Freedom Friday talks about police brutality. We've seen a few people... Gosh, I saw a gang fight in a mall on a live leak the other day that was so disturbing. The poor guy got hit so many times in the head, he had brain damage. And that was really sad. But, where are the security guards? And here I'm talking about police brutality. Well, yeah, GMOs are bad. I don't like... I say no to GMO. I agree. I can't imagine... It's just marketing. Truth hurts. Yeah. I don't have pistules. I've never mentioned pistules on our show. You're out of here, buddy. God. Somebody's saying, have you solved your anal fissures? I don't have any. I don't know what you're talking about. Dave, the past is the past. I was hoping we could forgive and forget. No, you still have a green car in the front of your car, your driveway, and you still don't know how I figured that out. We're really at that point right now. We're not trying to resolve the past. You're in to hang out, though. I get that. But we don't like deception much here. We're honest people, and we don't like people deceiving us in the show. There it is. I'm going to get my microwaved Brussels sprouts. I try to do it when the microwave is away from me.
You thought you saw Greta somewhere at the Salem trial? That's pretty funny. Schiff coaches witness Vin demand to ignore some GOP questions in the deposition. Maybe I'm getting DDoSed on my other computer. I don't know. Oh, that's funny. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. I'm nothing if not persistent. I am sorry. I should just do it from a USB and have a computer that I start on. Maybe I will buy a computer. Another computer. Yeah. a good idea. I just felt like this computer was just sitting around not being used, but and that's why I was going to do that. The heck? This is slower than the last one. I don't know. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, to tinker and to learn. That's the purpose. And I bet, right, Medveral, I can, once I get Linux going on another computer, I can still run the vMix on the Linux computer. Yeah. So maybe I'll do that for the holidays. Oh God, I just started getting a headache. Not the same code version, but you've seen one. Okay. That's true, it says it's for Windows, but whatever. I mean, if anything, I can figure out how to... Oh, GitHub has it? Okay. Good to know. Oh. Thank you. 212 has another thing, breaking news. Do you have any links to go with your breaking news? Not that I know of. I haven't seen any Grindr accounts. I don't know what that is. Oh. Thank you, Mr. Nickel. You paid $200 for some kind of premium pass and you got scammed, Shadow? A premium pass? What kind of, where? What premium pass? I was better off at the other one. This is saying it's going to take 5 hours to download the ISO. Oh, pair flipping? There you go. No, I've never read that. Truth Hurts. I don't think I would read that. Hello, beautiful man. There you go. There's another hair flip. Oh. Jesus did not come back as a body. It was a solid light hologram projection. Now that's what I want to create. Then from side to side, I can be like those women. Ow. Ow. Come on. Download. I don't remember taking this long to download before. Pop like holler. Like that. Just $15 an hour? You mean 15,000 an hour? This could be challenging. You have to give mass to something that has no mass, which implies controlling gravity and the Higgs boson field. Like the collar popped. Okay. You get paid 2.5 hours to smell fish. Well, you're a pirate. Electric, but we don't always heat the entire domicile. You're the hacker to hack the hacker from yesterday.
Yes.
Wait, was your name 8811 yesterday?
881, yeah. He's the guy that stopped the guy from attacking us, who continues to claim he's from Cameroon, even though his IP is, according to this guy, coming from
Thank you.
Virginia and the farm, which is a government operation, which I find
guess-
very strange.
Electric isn't that expensive in this area. That's how we heat our house.
Thanks 212 for coming in last night and helping. He's back again. You know, he's in here every night, that other guy. Okay, obstruction Schiff coaches witness Vindman to ignore some GOP questioning in the deposition. So Schiff's involvement in this is becoming problematic. Right, I think Nancy Pelosi might want to take a shift from Schiff.
Because
Is he shifty?
the whole reason is that way we're in awesome bliss with not knowing how many viewers we have.
Yes, it's a total, yeah.
All right, I'm just going to leave this. Supposedly it's downloading, but I have also had issues with the internet. So
Okay, good. Well,
I'm
I'll let it
hoping-
download.
I'm restarting.
Good, thank you so much. And I made you a wonderful salmon dinner with peas and rice. So.
I did it. I got a little ways last night. Now I'm restarting. Salmon, peas, and rice.
Salmon,
that
peas, and
sounds
rice.
delicious.
I took the rest of the rice from your dinner for lunch, and I just kind of put it into this dish, but I added another package of rice to the whole meal.
Oh, that's good.
And mushrooms and onions. So
Okay.
it should be organic rice with salmon and organic
Thank you for not
green
adding
peas.
sausage. Or whatever
You know, I'm not
else
going to buy that
is.
ever again. You know, I
Anything
can't.
that looks
no.
like a hot dog
Yeah.
or a Polish sausage, please don't buy it.
Exactly.
It does not bring me joy.
I won't be doing that again. I can't believe
really-
it was a
like,
dollar.
I've had organic, like grass-fed Polish sausage,
Yeah.
and I dislike it intensely.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
I
don't.
do not like Polish sausage, and I do not like hot dogs. I mean, there are some hot dogs I'll eat, but I really don't like
No, I wouldn't do it. In fact, you've convinced me, Sarah, not to ever do those products because they're not good for you. And the MSG and the nitrates or whatever you're getting,
They don't
and
give you a...
it's connected to cancer and all kinds of bad things.
I
Yeah.
can't believe this is taking so long. This is ridiculous.
Well, it's a slow download. You know, is it?
It's
This
not
is
even
Ethernet.
downloading.
Oh, really? Okay. That is weird. Oh well.
I feel like refreshing the page and then...
I try to tell you. Tell me what. Truth
Well, I did
hurts.
issue for a defective equipment. It's $80. You have till September 16th to take care of this.
Okay, we're going to take a look at a police brutality case where a cop tasers an old woman for fleeing from an $80 ticket. Yeah. This is going to be a shocking. Thank you, Preparation H. I appreciate it. The nitrates on 10 Polish sauces is enough to make a bomb? Really? Oh my God! Don't even talk about bombs in our room. I'm going to purge that from you. Yeah. Don't tell people how to make those things. But yeah, I get your point. I just purged you. I didn't mute you. If that's okay with you. David, do you have an Ethernet cord throughout the house or depend on Wi-Fi? We have Ethernet to these two computers, I believe. Those two computers are hardwired to the system outside the door, protected by a shield and a Faraday cage. Yeah, it's no big deal. I just don't... The B word triggers Eclipse and actually Alexa and Siri. Siri will hear that too, along with Cortana. Hello, I am here. Give me your permission to help. Okay, go to hell. Help. Well, if it's true about the nitrates, I'm with you on that. I don't. Yeah, I believe me. Ever since I met Sarah, I've cut back on hot dogs. I have, big time. And I used to only do chicken dogs back in the day. So just so you know, I was not a pork hot dog guy, but I built my life and my savings on hot dogs. I sold hot dogs back in the day in the 60s, just in front of my house at a lemonade stand. Back in a time when you didn't need a permit, a business license for a kid, a 7-year-old, to make money. And I did it right in front of my house. You know, I was making money selling hot dogs and lemonade. You know, a lot of kids do that still today. So don't rag on hot dogs that much. I mean, I'm not like de Blasio and I'm going to kick it out of the diet of every prisoner in New York State. I mean, that was foolish. Prisoners aren't allowed to have hot dogs in New York State, according to de Blasio.
Okay, if I ever do anything wrong, I'll have to do it in New York State.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. New York State, you'll never have hot dogs.
Wrong,
Well,
I'm always right.
ever since de Blasio, yeah, you're always a good person. Nothing's going to happen with you. But the point is, prisoners have to go away from hot dogs are still sold in Manhattan. It's a misnomer to say de Blasio outlawed them in restaurants. He just outlawed them in government operations and schools. Yeah, can you believe that? And hot dogs are probably the best thing for prisoners because that's the only thing they look forward to all day is that mustard ketchup hot dog, you know? There's something to be said about hot dogs, all right? I'm not ragging on hot dogs, so don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to eat any more as long as they have nitrates and MSG in them. Oh. You know that male prisoners get hot dogs all the time in New York City? Are you making a joke, Max? That's so unlike you. You're such a serious guy. You must have been a stockbroker at one time. You're pretty funny. Well, yeah, you must have been a stockbroker. How else would you have bitcoins? He found all these bitcoins in an old computer. Can you imagine? Yeah, I don't get why they don't have prisoners garden their own vegetables. I think prison gardens would be a thing we could do to encourage self-growth at the a lot of the grassroots levels. People get out of jail, they need a new life. Why not work in an organic garden somewhere because you've been working in one at the prison, you know? And mandating organic production of the vegetables, no pesticides, no herbicides allowed. And raise chickens for eggs, yeah. Of course, they can take those chicken bones and sharpen them up and make shanks. Yeah, you gotta worry about that too. Chicken bones can make some mean shanks, dude. I don't know about chicken. If you could have boneless chicken in the yard with their, like that, that'd be good. Or maybe that Petri dish chicken that Sarah's talking about, they could grow in a Petri dish, genetically modified. Now you're talking. I was shocked to find out that Tyson is owned by China now. I really don't know if I can research that. Let me check. Hey, Shadow, welcome back to the Twitch show. I heard something about this. I think it's true. Oh. It says Tyson Foods is an American multinational corporation based in Springfield, Arkansas. Okay, I think they... Yeah, let me check this out. Yeah, I don't think they've been sold, no. No, they've got great operating income. They've got $40 billion in production. They had huge revenue increases over the past few years. They're one of the more successful companies in the country. Grown in Springdale, Arkansas. Founded in 1935, 84 years ago. So no, Tyson is not owned by the Chinese people. I misstated the other day. Somebody actually said that it was. Nope. It is definitely owned by an American. Yeah, I'm just hoping that they've improved their quality. That's my concern is people keep getting good chicken and good quality food, not just crap grown with GMOs. Where's the video? I don't know. The Greta death metal on cue? No. I do have the video of this woman, though, getting attacked, so let's play that instead. I don't really want to drag Greta into this all the time, give her free airplay. I mean, it's pretty obvious she's probably going to win the Nobel Peace Prize for talking like a little girl about how horrible the world is. How dare you?
Get you to sign there with the Exodus.
So you don't even give them one.
Well, I did issue for a defective equipment. It's $80. You have till September 16th to take care of this. Get you to sign there with the Exodus.
So you don't even give a warning for this.
You've been driving around for 6 months like that.
I'm truthful.
Well, I'm not going to give you a warning for something you've been driving for 6 months.
But, well, I don't want to sign it because I don't want to do $80.
You don't want to sign it?
No, because I don't think that I deserve to pay $80 for something that is fixable and I can fix it.
All right.
That's all you
Go
want.
ahead and step out of the car.
Why?
Because you're under arrest. Step out. Step out of the vehicle.
No, I'm not.
Step out.
No.
Step out. I'm giving you a lawful order. Step out.
You be fair with me and I'll be fair with you.
Step out.
No.
You're under arrest.
No, I'm not.
I'm placing you under arrest. Step
You
out.
are full of because you're not placing me under no arrest.
Do not take
Oh,
off.
shut up and give me that and I'll sign it.
Step out.
No.
We're beyond that.
You want me
Step
to-
out. Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
To me.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
Okay, I'm getting a little stressed just doing this. Hang on just a second. Let's take a smoke here. All right. Thank you, Granny. Man, I'm stressed out by this. Aren't you getting a little stressed out by this too? Aren't you feeling the stress that she's experiencing? Aren't you personalizing this a little bit? I am. Man, these cops need their act reorganized. No, these cops are acting way out of control. It is a signature acknowledging you received a ticket, but technically, you don't have to sign anything, technically. Technically, you don't. But it's no admission of guilt, but technically, you don't even have to roll your window down beyond 2.5 inches. And all you have to do is tell them your name and your address and your birth date, technically. But these cops will pull you out of the car and tase you. That's the problem. And this is a warning for a taillight. Come on, guys, put this in perspective. This is a warning for a taillight, and she'd never have been warned before. So something's very wrong with this whole thing. This woman is going to be tased over a warning on a taillight? Come on. What world are you living in? Nazi Germany? If they ever try to pull you over, you're going to just drive to the police station? Well, great. That'll get you closer to the jail, because that's where they're going to take you. No offense, but I mean, you're right, though. I mean, you can't trust some of these undercover cops. It's true. I mean, we have them in our area. They don't even have any markings on their car. You think a standard Chrysler Hemi is driving down behind you, a Charger or something, and all of a sudden a light bar pops up. You didn't even see the light bar before. It's in the inside of the front of the window. I've never seen a face of a guilty officer when they're given life in prison, because you rarely see guilty officers given life in prison. But that's a good question. She could have sweet-talked her way into it instead of being combative. That's true. Her whole approach is wrong. You've got to always apologize and be very respectful of the police officer. That's one of the things she did wrong. Don't argue with a cop. They get bored and walk away 90% of the time if you don't argue with them. Yeah. I care about people. She's not a bad person. You looked at that woman. She wasn't a bad person. She's just minding her own business, and she was a strong, probably a patriot. But, you know, if a person says that they're a sovereign citizen, according to the FBI, they're enemies of the state now. We just saw a release on that the other day. Sovereign citizen movement is growing in America, and it's people that just believe that they're not U.S. citizens. They're just citizens of Iowa or something. Yeah. And the FBI had a warning on sovereign citizens, because someone was asking me, you know, is that okay? Well, you can do anything you want in America. How you go from there is up to you, and where you go from there. But here is an FBI warning. They're calling it domestic terrorism, the sovereign citizen movement, right here. Yeah, people that claim they don't have a U.S. citizenship are also treated as though they're terrorists because they're denying their citizenship rights afforded them by the law, which I don't think is the case. I personally think that everybody, including illegal aliens, have rights, and I think the Constitution would agree with me. But I'll give you the link to this just so you can see it. Yeah, I don't want you to, you know, miss out on this great little document the government has presented. I'll give you the heads up on this. The woman was not a woman that would be using her body to get out of a situation. My goodness. And why would you encourage cops to misuse their job? You know, I drove by the highway in my area, and a state patrol officer in an SUV was parked on the side of the road with the tinted windows in the back. And it was a full-on SUV. And a woman got out of the back of the back door and just casually got out of the car as I was driving by. And her car was parked in front. It's like, did she go in there and do a sexual favor in order to get out for that ticket? I enjoy seeing justice. Now that includes getting some of these cops brought to justice who are bad cops. I really am concerned, and I don't think there's any sensitivity training courses out there for police right now. Trump hasn't done anything. He wants people to mishandle people and grab their heads and throw them against the wall. And Trump's going to be seen very soon as a potential criminal based on the way he's behaving. I mean, pretty soon we might have this to deal with. Yeah. He thinks he can profit from the White House, collude with Russia, and believe me, Mueller did not exonerate him of that, and misuse his power in every way to get dirt on his opponent in Ukraine and cavort with Russian oligarchs in order to get favor in an election and literally cheat and not tell people about it. That's Trump in a nutshell. And he makes $110 million on the White House itself simply by getting people to go to the hotel near him. Yes, I heard the cop who arrested El Chapo's son had 155 bullets poured into him, yeah. It's pretty sad. He died, right? Yeah. I don't think 155 bullets, even Superman couldn't handle that. Well, I don't think any president should profit from the White House. I don't think Bubba Trump or I don't think his whole profit mechanism should be encouraged. I think it's really bad. But the fact that they all do means we have to change this. We've got a serious problem because our leaders have been profiting from every position, including our senators. I support term limits on senators and House representatives. I know he's violating the Emoluments Clause. Look it up. I know. It's not some hoax.
Get out of the car.
You better leave me.
Put your hands behind your back.
Leave me alone.
Put your hands behind your back. Now. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Lay down and put your hands behind your back. Now. No, you will not. You're going to get it again. You just got yourself in a whole lot more trouble?
What?
for running?
Oh, I didn't run. I told you you weren't going to arrest me. I pulled in here thinking that you would.
You hurt?
Yeah, I'm hurt.
What hurts?
Everything.
All right, I got EMS on the way. Just hang tight.
You got a what on the leg?
I got ambulance on the way. Check you out.
Ambulance? I don't need an ambulance.
Well, you got tased, so they got to check you out.
How nice. What a nice guy. You know, what a great guy. Sending an ambulance for her. Wow, that was really decent of him, you know? Yeah, I'm glad we saw that. Unbelievable. You know, Friday is the night we talk about conspiracies. And, you know, the QAnon people are really into the belief that somehow the NYPD story of Anthony Weiner is going to be prosecuted. Look at this story. It's like 3 years old. Somebody sent it to me. He said, yeah, Eric Prince, the guy from Blackwater, said NYPD is ready to make arrests in the Anthony Weiner case. Nuh-uh. According to this article, the fact is, if you know that if the left had emails pointing to Donald Trump visiting multiple times an island of underage sex slaves, basically you would know that they'd be talking about, but they'd be shouting it from the rooftops. Okay, from what I understand, up the commissioner, or at least the chief level in NYPD, they wanted to have a press conference, and DOJ, Washington people, political appointees have been exerting all kinds of undue pressure on them to back down, he added. He suggested that some of those involved in keeping the details quiet might want to avoid accusations of politicizing the case and seeking to influence the presidential election. Since this article, 9 people have committed suicide. 9 people have committed suicide in the New York Police Department. And all of it's related to the tapes. So what is our government hiding? That's something we should ask as well. Not only are police involved in brutality, but they're also keeping information from going forward and following proper investigations. I never saw that. Yeah. No one's ever given me a link to that. Yeah, 9 cop suicides is probably just a coincidence. Hardly. In fact, these guys that were suiciding, one was the lead detective on the Anthony Weiner case, and the other was his boss. And his boss was due for retirement the following week, and instead he blew his brains out. Does that sound a little weird to you? It sure does to me. $401 people dead related to the Clintons? Are you sure? Because I only counted 150. Oh, the guy was going to retire in 3 weeks? Okay, correction. 3 weeks, not 1 week. Big difference. You know, I don't know about that story about 401 people being on the Clinton body count. I've only counted 150. You know that the people that let's be fair, that the people that are actually on that list did die and were never accused of being murdered at all. And it does look very suspicious. There's no question about it. I mean, starting with Vince Foster, he allegedly had 2 gunshots to the head in the White House, and his body was moved to a new location. People don't suicide with 2 gunshots to the head. So there's a lot of weird stuff in those cases. So I'm more than willing to open up that case and do a detailed investigation. But 401, I'd like to see Clinton cash the movie. If you could bring me a link to that, Max, and before you go to bed tonight, that'd be great. No one has 150 friends who commit suicide. Good point. Thank you. I want to see that. But my concern is that this is a big story that's been suppressed, and we usually take a look at these things at the end of the week. And we're not seeing a lot of mileage on this in the media. Last week we saw Epstein didn't kill himself, and that's a diversion in my opinion, because as you know, Epstein probably is alive. So sure, if you believe that he killed himself, you're one of those people that, you know, bought the initial story, but even the coroner doesn't buy this anymore. So if you don't believe this happened, you're a conspiracy theorist and a domestic terrorist threat in the eyes of the government. But I'm willing to go out and say I'm not a domestic terrorist threat, and I'm not even a conspiracy theorist. I'm just looking for evidence. And right now the evidence points in the direction of Epstein being actually alive. The only photograph we have of Epstein dead Doesn't even have the same face. I mean, you can see the nose is curled, whereas Epstein's nose is straight, and the ear doesn't match either. And look at this poor guy, probably was a bag person they beat up and stuck in his place. But he definitely died from trauma, blunt force trauma to the head. Look at that. That looks like somebody took a baseball bat to his head. That's what a baseball bat looks like when you... That's if you don't break your orbital. I don't see his orbital broken in that. But I definitely see contusions and bruising. I'm not a forensic expert. I've just watched 400 episodes of CIA or CSI Miami, CSI New York, CSI Las Vegas. So I'm kind of an armchair expert on the subject. Yeah, I watch more of that than most people go to college. So I consider myself somewhat of an armchair expert on forensic science. Hang on, Grandma's going to take another hit. Go ahead, Grandma. Ooh, looking good. So Mark said you can smoke on camera now. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to consume marijuana on camera simply because I don't think it's professional and I don't need it. You know, I enjoy the show so much that I have to spray fruit spray on my face every 15 minutes. So why would I want to get high, you know? It reeks of something sinister, doesn't it, 835? Yeah. Oh, you've got the link, Max? Thank you. Coming with the links. You've been a big support as well, Max. Thank you for your links. And Scissorfight, of course, has been a massive support. His contribution to our show has been immense. Here's the Clinton Cash movie. Oh, good. I want to play that tonight. Excellent. We'll do that after our recorded broadcast. That's perfect. In fact, there's a very good chance that she's going to be making a comeback soon. Yeah, there's talk of her actually getting into the race again. You wanted to do the what's going on video? That's important to you? Really? This guy makes all this money, has no idea what's happening, and you want him to be your mascot or something? Oh, aren't you special? Well, you could be a YouTube star like this guy and make $14 million and not have an opinion and be a suck-up and a shill for the New World Order. I'm sure that's very possible.
Hey, do you ever wonder, like, what is going on? I mean, like, do you ever, like, wake up or do something and you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. And that got him $14 million in revenue. Is that unbelievable? Yeah, I know all these YouTube stars and horrors, some of them. I like the guys that are just do-it-yourself experts and, you know, really do something, like teach you how to make solar panels. And those are the ones that deserve the money. They really are. I mean, it's amazing how they cut their own videos, they make their own stuff. That's okay. But the ones that sell out and are afraid to say anything political, avoiding that all the time, just to become a YouTube star, or the ones that are so far off the deep end that the YouTube promotes them, like Alex Jones. Mark lost 3 servers since last Saturday. How do you know that? Do you watch Mark's shows, Max? Mark is going to make sure that you can't see the stream unless you have an account? Okay. Well, then he's going to cut out all those guest viewers because we've got a lot of guests that watch our show over there. And those people just have to go to coolrock.com. We'll have to keep telling him to go to coolrock.com because there will be a video available at all times. And you can always watch our YouTube video from the night before by hitting the YouTube button. But if Mark is planning on monetizing the whole show and getting rid of all guest chat viewers, because right now we've got 78 people watching the show who cannot get into the guest chat. And Mark has this ridiculous screen, which is like a begging screen with a timer on it. And then he's got 78, 77 viewers watching now. He wants to get rid of all those viewers because he's already eliminated them from guest chat. So that's one of the reasons why Sarah and I are working on the background to help provide you Cool Rock, and eventually we'll have our own server and we'll run our own show. I can tell that Sarah is very interested in this, but there's no timetable on this from my perspective. I do this daily for free, so I don't expect any real progress, which has helped me survive these many years of attacks. Yeah, that's a good question. Everything about that number is false, too. We're not seeing 78 people watch us. We're seeing 780,000 people watch us. So when he gets rid of guest chat, it'll eliminate a lot of access for a lot of people watching the show at Vaughn. If he does that. Right now, it's almost impossible to get into the show and chat. That's another area that you guys know too well, how to hit the refresh button. The 3 of the new boxes had failed in some form or another in a cascade fashion. Well, we were attacked by the top level attackers working undercover at some location in Virginia. We've identified the location of the attacker as Virginia, and we have a guy in our room who actually has given us some tips along the way, but it does look like it's coming out of Virginia, and that, you know what that points to? Our own government trying to stop a grassroots formulation of a political movement online, which is my biggest concern. That they've somehow planned on getting rid of us and censoring us over the past 10 years, and they haven't been able to do it. Now they're taking it seriously and going after us as best they can with their best people, and they still can't stop us. Isla Fry says it took 89 times to refresh to get in here. Wow. Okay, some woman tried to exorcise a police officer, claiming the police officer was demonic. Okay.
Lasers sound like the stuff of science fiction, right? Sound completely unbelievable. How could our military possibly be using those in future warfare? Guess what? We've just had a recent breakthrough, more great test results that are making lasers a reality. So it's Lockheed Martin makes it, and they've been doing a lot of the pioneering in this laser field. Now, what's really exciting about it is that it's so hard to harness that much power and make it compact enough that's actually going to make practical sense downrange. And they've proven that they can do that. Recently, they tested it against 5 moving drones. So really,
yeah, this is an interesting video that's more interesting than that one, which had all kinds of weird things. Yeah, I'm going to try to watch that in a bit. Okay. Yeah, this is a story about this is a Fox News story about how they started the fires in California. Scissor Fight brought us this story a couple days ago. And if you haven't seen this is shocking. It's a reveal that Fox is saying, yeah, they used lasers to start those fires. I mean, right in our face, they're just saying it flat out. Look at this.
lasers sound like the stuff of science fiction, right? Sound completely unbelievable. How could our military possibly be using those in future warfare? Guess what? We've just had a recent breakthrough, more great test results that are making lasers a reality. So it's called Athena. Lockheed Martin makes it, and they've been doing a lot of the pioneering in this laser field. Now, what's really exciting about it is that it's so hard to harness that much power and make it compact enough that's actually going to make practical sense downrange. And they've proven that they can do that. Recently, they tested it against 5 moving drones, so realistic drones that they might go up against, with, enemy forces might send against us, for example, or terrorists might send against us. And it successfully shot down all 5 of the drones. This is huge news because it means that in a realistic, practical setting, it's looking very promising. So it could be ready to field quite soon. So when you see the movies, or you look at comic books or television shows, when you see laser weapons, they tend to be a color, right? Red or green or something like that. Real lasers, one of the key advantages that they provide is that they are invisible. You actually can't see them. You just see this damage suddenly starting to blow something up. So if we take a look now at what the Athena did to a truck. So we're looking at a truck engine, and the Athena within seconds was able to beam right in there, heat the whole thing up, and burn through the engine of this vehicle. So if you can imagine if you were in that vehicle, all of a sudden, this hole would start appearing in your engine, and the whole thing would just disappear. That's what these lasers do. Now, there's some other key advantages that we should mention. Let me give you 3 of them. 1, unlimited ammo. As long as we have power, we have an unlimited magazine. And downrange, of course, having unlimited ammo can be a huge advantage. 2nd, it's silent. We don't give the enemy any advance warning that it's.
Isn't this weird? It's almost like she's talking to first of all, she does look really bad, like she's got a very bad diet. And number 2, it's like she's talking to some it's like an industrial loop for some corporate genocidal maniac. Sure, and you don't want to miss the incredible ability these things have of destroying people and burning them in their cars. Yeah, so it's just so weird and bizarre that this ever happens. I'm going to give you guys a link to this YouTube video. If you want to share it with your family, that's fine. You can check that out over there. And we've got other information about the UN inspector blocked. Okay. Yeah, here's the link I just played of that woman. It's just weird. Now, a UN inspector blocked from the Iran nuclear site after allegedly testing positive for explosives. Whoa. Oh, wow. Yeah. U.S. says Iran's holding an IAEA inspector outrageous act of intimidation. They're keeping an IAEA inspector hostage. Well, that's enough for me. I've heard enough. This is why I didn't want Trump to sign the sign the treaty that Barack Obama had signed. I felt that Iran had really violated it early on, and you know that Israel did find a neutron detonator in their collection, and that's a clear violation of the treaty. So I think the treaty should never have been signed. So I agreed with Trump by not signing it. I myself didn't want him to sign it. I, however, stated specifically that we shouldn't impose economic sanctions in that way on Iran, and that would have prevented us from a trade crisis we have with China right now. But either way, we're still moving forward. Iran advances nuclear activities moving further after Trump didn't sign the treaty, but more evidence that Iran is not going to work with us in any way. The agency, IAEA, does not go into details in public about such matters, but based on the information available to us, the agency does not agree with Iran's characterization of the situation involving the inspector, who was carrying out official safeguard duties in Iran. So apparently the guy went in there with nitrates as some sort of residue on him, and they held him and detained him because maybe Iran felt that they were going to get a false read on their explosions. I don't know. We have to give Iran a chance to defend themselves, and I think we have to keep an open door with Iran no matter what. I think Trump has kind of violated that trust that we had with Obama. The download is not finished. It's still at... no, it's halfway through, though. It's working very slowly, but it's still working. So I'm hoping it'll work. Yeah. Trump's considering Putin into an invite parade. Oh, yeah. I heard that Trump is looking to meet Putin in Moscow in May. I'm hoping Trump will be impeached by then, because Trump is clearly working with Putin on every level. It's like he's his puppet. And we know now from Mueller that Putin did blackmail the president over the sex tape. We know that now. Mueller said in the testimony that, yeah, Trump was being blackmailed over the sex tape. You'd think that would have been a major story in America, but no, it was completely blown off. Apparently people are just too high, you know, they don't bother to even listen to the news anymore. Hey, could you pass the bong, Grandma? Thanks. Yeah, so of course Trump is going to accept the invitation. Trump is Putin's puppet. Trump called Putin a great guy and a terrific person. He's a great guy. I think we had a really good meeting. I think he's a good person. We started discussing trade. I think we should have trade between Russia and the United States, two great countries. We had a great meeting yesterday. He's a terrific person. He repeats himself incessantly, Trump does. Just like he said recently that it was a perfect transcript. It's a perfect transcript. It's a perfect transcript. Everything's perfect about the transcript. There's nothing perfect about the transcript. It was redacted. It doesn't even talk about the things that were going on in the room. 12 witnesses said that Trump talked about getting dirt on Joe Biden in order to give them the $400 million money. He needed a person-to-person meeting and assurance from Zelensky that Joe Biden dirt would be brought to Trump's office. Officials say Iranian forces shot down the drone, which belonged to a foreign country, state news agencies report. Iran has confirmed that its forces have shot down a drone and said it's belonged to a foreign country. according to state news agency IRNA. Iran's air defense force hit the unknown drone early on Friday morning at the port city of Mashhad in the country's southwest. Yeah, this is the area that they're very interested in. Yes, it is true. All right. Meanwhile, the oil is being very guarded in Syria. David, will you shave live on stream? No, I would never shave. And I asked you to ask political questions. I'm tired of this, man. How many times have I asked you to ask political questions? This is crazy, man. He's in a show and he talks about the stupidest things. It's like his usual behavior. Well, let's be clear. So, obviously, the Epstein story is still migrating forward with everyone thinking that he was killed now, when in fact, this is a picture taken 20 days. I looked it up, 20 days after he died. That's Jeffrey Epstein looking up from his maintenance vehicle, overlooking the damage to Hurricane Dorian did to St. James Island, also known as Orgy Island. This is a picture of Jeffrey Epstein. We've had confirmation, his facial recognition has confirmed it is Jeffrey Epstein. Seen 20 days after he allegedly died. David, what will you do once you get what you desire? Will you let authority feed your ego? No. My chances of ever becoming president are so slim that I don't hinge my life on becoming president. I don't. I realize that my chances are so very slim in a country that's so corrupt and willing to censor its own people that I've toggled my desires and expectations to this level, which is a good thing for you because you know that I wouldn't succumb to their manipulation. You know that I would be working for you simply because I'm not in it for personal gain. I've already received enough information to know that this country is as corrupt as any other country. And I know that I'm going to be facing nonstop threats. So I will be living very carefully when I become president, if I become president. I'll be living much like Ronald Reagan did after he was shot. Well, Nancy and I used to cuddle, and we Netflixed and chilled, eating my jelly beans. And she had her Valium. And we'd cuddle for the longest time in the White House. No, nobody's hero of that name. Why are you calling him annoying? He's got great games. No, I wouldn't eat jelly beans because jelly beans have food coloring in them and they've been linked to Alzheimer's. Case in point, Ronald Reagan. Well, I'm not sure what jelly beans did for you, but they certainly caused Alzheimer's for Ronald Reagan. Yeah, I don't know if there's a direct link, but there's a potential link between red dye number 40 and red dye number 60 and Alzheimer's. But studies are still being performed, so don't worry. Your jelly bean content will be protected, except in California. Anthony Bourdain urged New York to publish Harvey Weinstein's expose after repeatedly telling girlfriend Asia Argento it was worth it to share rape allegations. Well, I think Anthony Bourdain may have just made himself a target by urging the New Yorker to publish Harvey Weinstein's expose. Yeah. And Asia Argento had some very strange behavior right before Anthony Bourdain died. That night, she was posing on Instagram with a weird t-shirt that said she doesn't give an F about anything or anyone. And then she pulled it off Instagram. But according to this article, Anthony Bourdain reached out to New Yorker editor David Remnick after Ronan Farrow had interviewed his girlfriend Asia Argento about Harvey Weinstein. Farrow said he was nervous because over and over again, women who had withdrawn from the story had done so after an intervention from a husband or a boyfriend. I'm not a religious man, said Bourdain, but I pray you have the strength to run the story. Farrow writes that Bourdain also repeatedly assured Argento that she was doing the right thing by sharing her allegations. He told her to keep going, but it's worth it, that it would make a difference, reveals Farrow. Wow. You know, I've always felt that Anthony Bourdain was a real trendsetter, and, you know, he was really against food waste. And that's one of my big things. I don't like food waste. But I feel that something's very mysterious about Anthony Bourdain. I was the one that discovered this, the first person to talk about it. When I Googled Anthony Bourdain's net worth, which I do sometimes when he was living, it was close to $15 million. And when he died, the day after he died, his Google net worth was $1.5 million. So he must have transferred $12.5 million or $13 million over to somebody right before they killed him. I would say this story is definitely a homicide. No question about it. Now, as far as Jeffrey Epstein, no, he's still alive. He got out. He's hiding somewhere. I'm absolutely, positively, verifiably factual about this. Epic fella, you're not allowed to ever say that about us. Yeah. I believe Dave may have just admitted this is a show more than an honest run at the office. Never. I've always been running at the office. I've been completely, wondering why you people can't get me on the ballot. I've been wondering why you don't go to our website. But in this world of me trying to get on the ballot over the past 10 years, I've concluded that many of you are so dumbed down and neutralized that you don't believe anything's possible. I'm not in any way giving up the race for the presidency. You, however, just don't get it. And there's nothing I can do to make you get it. Really. The world is a changing place, and if we don't get with it, we're not going to, figure out how to solve this problem. You think climate change is bad. Wait till they continue spraying you on a daily basis. I've turned this show, John, into an effort to reveal what's happening. Our show is the only show out there that really takes chemtrails on every single night and deals with this reality that we're all being sprayed like insects. So don't undermine what I'm doing. I'm building a third-party consensus here that people will not find consensus in the two-party system. I want so many things the two-party system doesn't offer. No to GMOs. That's just one. The two-party system won't even discuss this. We've got another issue of no to forced vaccinations. Now, I personally don't think it's the right of our government to force vaccinations on people. I believe that there's a way around this by getting the CDC to do their job. But these issues aren't even covered by the Democrats. They spray chemtrails at night for sure, yeah. Well, the fact is, cutest maneuver, I checked his net worth for months prior to his death, and it was consistently $14.5 million. We have that on our show. And then when he died, it went down to 1.5. So you tell me what the inconsistency is all about. Thank you. Yeah, GMO seeds spreading, that's definitely a problem, Herbal Ascension, I agree. So we have other issues we take on that the Democrats don't talk about. Solutions to homelessness that they don't seem to be able to do, like putting in bathrooms. I mean, they won't even take on homelessness. The Republicans don't care about it. We take it on. We have a mobile service unit plan that we offer for people and a mobile medical unit plan that will lower the cost of health care. But there's issues that the Democrats won't take on, like filtering water. That's another thing. I'd like to offer point-of-use filtration solutions for everybody in America. We can partner with private sector operations, or we can build it ourselves. But if somebody's got a gasland situation in their water, I want to be able to get them clean water. As president, I wouldn't be doing my job if I couldn't give them a filter system and a way to replace the filters. So I support something the Democrats don't, and I'm going to call that water and air filters. H2O and air filters. Something that the Democrats aren't talking about. They're talking about cap and trade. I want to stop the pollution. Innovation is the key, not taxing you people into oblivion. We need to deal with this right now. All I'm saying is that numerous websites prior to his death said his net worth was close to $14 million. I'm not saying it was something that may be true or not. All I'm saying is numerous websites said that. Okay? I no speak Spanish, español, no. I comprendo mundo, por favor, but not a lot. I'm not expecting to understand Spanish. I'm happy with English as my primary language. The FBI seized computers in the raid at Jeffrey Epstein's Virgin Island home. Where are the results? Good point. Max is on it. You staying up late tonight because it's Friday, Max? Or do you get regular sleep normally? Yeah, so where are the evidence? We saw the FBI and NYPD at Jeffrey Epstein's house the day after he died. Where is the evidence? Yeah. Drone footage showed all of that happening. Men coming in, seizing the equipment. This is aerial footage from Rusty Shackelford's site. And here they were seen pulling stuff out of the offices of Jeffrey Epstein. But what's strange is NYPD and FBI were working together as a fusion project. And there was no legitimate subpoena for this that I could find. I looked at the civil case. There was no legitimate civil subpoena for a review of his location. And all charges have been dropped in the civil case against, or plaintiff was Virginia Roberts, Gouffre. So while they're looking through all this stuff, somebody notices, oh, there's a drone here. And they start, check this out, they start putting stuff over the window. They want to shield your view of them looking at Jeffrey Epstein's stuff. Now, what are they hiding? And where is that information? For that matter, where's Anthony Weiner's laptop information NYPD is holding too? So no wonder O'Neill, the chief of NYPD police, is leaving. He can't handle it. He can't handle the heat. Hey Twitch, twitch.tv/Cool Rock Party. You got a few people in there. And Shadow has a video of, they're coming. The midgets are coming. Okay. Let's take a look at this. This is a candid scene of some sort of an attack, a gang stalking of midgets. This guy's running away from these midgets. Whoa. That's kind of weird. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Shadow. Misanthropy, the midgets are coming. I'm relaying a message. Yeah, where's Seth Rich's laptop? Deborah Wasserman Schultz really wanted to get a hold of that. It's still in lockup in New York or something. That would tell us a lot more. But you see, these are just a few of the things that were different than the Democrats and Republicans on. We offer cutting-edge solutions to the problems facing our country right now. We're actually, I want to get the CDC to do the right thing and explain to everybody why they put mercury in vaccines. I want them to explain in detail why they have to use mercury as a stabilizer, a colloidal agent. I need to know exactly scientifically why. And why do they have contaminated vaccines in the pool with neuroencephalitis in it that's causing irreparable damage to children? Why are they hiding under the belief that all their vaccines are safe? This is just a crock of crap. I definitely would say Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is doing an honest and really good job of exposing the corruption in the vaccine CDC industry. No, Truth, I would never have anything like that on my show. And again, ask me political questions, not Anthony Weiner tapes. I'm not going to pitch a run and offer 49% of the country in return, John. That's corrupt. You act like you're a Republican who would support Donald Trump and his profiting from the White House. What a scummy thing to say, John. What kind of a scumbag are you, John? Your average variety scumbag that would do anything for money? Or are you are you one of the nouveau rich scumbags who will do anything for money and then walk away feeling unscathed? Here's a homeless backlash dividing Bonnie Lake. Let's take a look. This is here in Seattle area.
Trains pitting neighbor against neighbor in the South Sound.
Go back to Carbonado, tweaker!
How to handle the homeless and panhandlers, leaving some feeling targeted.
The burning down of camps and, just anything they can use against us.
And creating a city divided. Bonnie Lake's population has doubled in the past 20 years, and with that growth have come big city problems.
As Cairo 7's Deborah Horn reports, those growing pains led to infighting, harassment, and a social media movement that's left many people frustrated.
A welcome sign beckons as you enter picturesque Bonnie Lake, but just off Highway 410, in the woods behind the city's burgeoning business district, locals say you'll see a seedier side.
I know what the rumor is about Bonnie Lake. Bonnie Lake is the easy place to come and live in the woods. It's the easy place to come and steal. It's the easy place to panhandle because there's rich people everywhere, and I'm not even joking.
We met Rhiannon Skog Geffrey and her friend Christina Donaldson in the city she moved to a couple of years ago. She contends they see suspects arrested, then quickly released.
And I've been there to where someone has come out 10 minutes later to steal again. And that's when citizens stop them.
There is no evidence that all of them are homeless or drug addicts. Still,
You feel frustrated? I do.
so she created the Bonnie Lake Buckley Against Drugs Facebook page. Then she took to the streets.
Nobody wants your tweaker asses here.
And she posted the videos on Facebook. Then came the backlash.
It's a group of pretty much vigilantes.
Jacob Kurth is like many who feel targeted.
Get away. You think I'm afraid to go to jail? I will you up.
He is homeless, but he is from Bonnie Lake.
I feel like I'm probably threatened more than 2 or 3 times a week by some of the younger kids that are kids of the group.
Jacob Kurth admits he and the suspect are living behind this Fred Meyer. We first met Kurth last July.
Yes.
18-year-old Tyson Laws, a former standout athlete at Bonnie Lake High School, said he was stabbed in these woods by Kurth's friend, who is homeless too.
Wow. You see, there's a real one group pit against another, and they're living in the same area. The police can't kick him out of the woods, per se. It's a little harder. Video cameras would be helpful, yeah. Yeah, there were 340,000 emails between Hillary Clinton, Uma Abedin, reportedly found on Anthony Weiner's laptop. And again, we're getting no response from the FBI or anybody in the Justice Department regarding Anthony Weiner's. And you people at QAnon continue to say that Trump is stopping the deep state. Trump can barely wipe his own butt right now. He's completely sidetracked from helping this country and getting to the root cause of other corruption. How come this story isn't going viral?
Case because they had discovered 30,000 email from Hillary Clinton and State Department on Anthony Weiner's laptop, because they and this is all contained in a brand new book called Deep State by James Stewart. We were telling you a little bit about it yesterday. And apparently an FBI guy was looking at Weiner's laptop, looking for evidence that he had had inappropriate contact with an underage person with inappropriate text messages. Well, as soon as he opened up the computer, he discovered that it wasn't 30,000 email like James Comey had said. It turns out it was 340,000. It's over 10 times the amount. And now you're wondering, why did James Comey say it was 30,000 when it was 340,000?
Yeah, that's a big question. I believe Comey may very well be a party to this planned corruption that's going on in our country. I don't see Comey as an innocent party here. I really believe that Comey's got some very dark roots. I just don't know how dark. It is true that Comey is the single most important person in rigging the election against Hillary Clinton. Now, I'm not here to defend Hillary Clinton, but yeah. He is the most important person in this whole dialogue, and yet he's not really being scrutinized by the impeachment group. The thing is, the rest of the emails could very well be related to this. One of them could have the videotape that was allegedly called Frazzle Drip, which allegedly shows Hillary Clinton and Uma Abedin torturing a child. I have only heard about that on the internet. I've never seen it, nor do I want to. But there are a lot of questions about that being in there, and the 2 detectives that suicided recently, were never able to express their concerns publicly, and we find out that they were going to call a press conference. We're told by the FBI and the Justice Department not to do that. Now we're seeing the Chief of Police, O'Neill, leave his post in NYPD without even making a comment about it. So and what exactly are we looking at with this dark sky picture? You know, it locked up on me. Did that happen to the other one? It might have downloaded, but last I checked it was at 381, halfway through. Was that higher than it was before?
It's not even 381, it's 38.1.
Oh, okay, then it didn't work. Then just go, yeah, let's go out of there. Restart. I think weddings are a very big part of a person's life. I used to do a lot of wedding videos. I was a videographer, and I've done quite a few of them. And I can tell you that they are, we've lost connection to chat right now. Weddings are very stressful for everybody, especially the bride and groom. Wow, we have Amazon letting its first series of drones leave the mothership. Check this out. This is a film of the Amazon new mothership with the drone delivery drones on them. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
Wow. That's something to watch. Look at that. That's the future of air travel and drone delivery.
Delivery, yeah.
It could also be the future of danger, too, for all of humanity. There is the docking stations where the drones go up into the unit. That is fascinating. Aren't you glad you gave Jeff Bezos all that money? You know? He got all that money so he can make all these toys for himself. Isn't that great? USPS did that. Okay, you may have to refresh the Vaughn chat. We're having some problems. Yep, the chat was just hit by a guy named Dairy King. Yeah, they just knocked down the chat again. Mark is getting server hit every night, and he, according to Max, he had 3 rack servers go down. Mark did in an array. 600 security violations found. Yes, I got that link. Right. Mark had lost 3 servers in the recent attack, and now it's happening again. Okay. Investigation into Hillary's emails concludes nearly 600 security violations found. State Department investigators concluded their investigation of former Secretary Hillary Clinton's private email server found 600 security violations. The results from the investigation were disclosed in a letter last week to Senator Grassley from the Bureau of Legislative Affairs Assistant Mary Elizabeth Taylor. 38 individuals were culpable for 91 security violations, along with 497 additional security violations that were found where no individual was found culpable. But not one of these found Hillary culpable. Huh. The decision to not charge Clinton with a felony has come under intense scrutiny after it was revealed that the anti-Trump FBI agents Peter Strzok edited a key phrase that removed possible legal implications. I think Strzok should have been charged himself with a felony, and I think we could have gotten Hillary charged at that time. But again, she's got deep cover from the deep state, and Trump hasn't been able to solve any of that. And Lisa Page was romantically involved with Strzok. She testified last year that FBI officials discussed charging Clinton, but were ultimately denied by Obama's Justice Department. So Clinton got cover from Obama and now Trump. So Trump isn't pursuing this. Hey, we are being attacked in the server right now. The chat room has been infected. Let's see if we can get up. Okay, we're up and running again. Okay. Thank you. Refresh at Vaughn, everybody. We just got hit by a guy named Dairy King. And Dairy King is no longer allowed back in, but people are slowly coming back in. Let me bring that up to speed for you. See, we just have a few people in Vaughn right now, guys, so you have to refresh your screen in order to get into Vaughn. Otherwise, you won't come in. Come back, everybody. Yeah, you're under attack. The show is under attack, and I've been explaining to everybody that this has been going on. Max knows Mark personally through his chat show, and Max said that... Yeah, Max said that Mark has a bar and club in New Orleans. But he knows that because his brother does work for him. Max's brother does work for him. Now, we know Max from his face. He's come on screen and he talked to people.
Yeah.
And Max's brother has done work for Mark and knows that Mark has purchased a large establishment in New Orleans. Is that correct? And your brother sold him the PA system. So something like that is not a lightweight thing. I'm trying to build a case that Mark has made a lot of money so that Sarah could start to believe this as opposed to not believe it. But I'm just slowly working on it. I don't expect anyone to believe anything right now. It did that before when the video card failed me. It could be, essentially a video card issue. We may have to reboot, and you may want to try starting that other computer and doing all that work on that computer, and we'll take this and put it in retirement. I'll rebuild it.
That computer doesn't have what it needed, I thought.
You need a 64-bit platform?
Yeah.
Well, let's go online and buy a 64-bit computer, because that one's about on its last leg. I'm amazed it ran that long. Seriously. There you go. Let it rest, let it spin down. Let the hard drive spin down before we reboot. Sometime if we hit it, it reboots on its own. It's really the video card that's the biggest culprit there. That's what crashed. Do you see that? That was a video card crash. That was strictly because we have a bad video card. We could also just buy a new video card for that computer, but those are about $300 now, $230. So. Well, anyway, I've been building a case that Vaughn has been censoring us, and you can see that we have hardly anybody coming back in the room now after Mark just revived the system. But yeah, it's painfully slow for people to refresh and get back in here now. Oh well. Sarah's here to hang out with you guys, so I'll let you do your thing. I'm gonna get rid of this now. Can I get rid of that little?
But yeah. Please, actually, that's probably one of the issues.
Okay. Yeah, you're slowly coming back in. You can believe anything you want, Medbrawl. I mean, the ghost of Epstein is no longer in existence because the ghost is alive. Epstein is alive, man. How can you even believe he's dead with that photograph not matching? Are you unable to see the gross... obvious fakery here? Wow. So Mark bought a bunch of systems all at the same time and 3 failed? Wow. It could be a heat problem on the video card. Good point, Max. It can overheat. True. Space Shuttle. Yes, I believe you gave me this link earlier. I don't want to play it. It's inappropriate for the show. It's a rap star using bad words that are very derogatory. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't play those. He uses slang words that they seem racist to me. Yeah. Get rid of a few things here while I'm sitting. We're not going to use that. I play this sometimes at the end of the show to kind of wake people up. I don't want anyone to fall asleep during the show. Okay, so we've got the homeless backlash. That's going to be the lineup tonight. Cairo 7, Bonnie Lake situation's getting worse. There's a big clash between people. IAEA, turns out this guy is being held by Iran. We don't know why. Disturbing enough. Iran is having a decision to falsely arrest this guy. New GOP Ukraine defense. Trump was just a patsy for Sondland. Now, Trump may very well throw this Ambassador Sondland under the bus in an attempt to get free of any guilt or accusation of guilt. That's his only defense now. Now that Giuliani pretty much said Ukraine quid pro quo intended to benefit Trump personally, which is playing right into the hand of the impeachment right now. If Giuliani had said, no, the Ukraine quid pro quo was intended to find corruption in Ukraine before we gave them the money, that would have been fine. But Giuliani put his foot in his mouth yet again. Then, now we're looking at incriminating evidence from a tweet by Giuliani. Right here. So everything he's doing seems to be going against Donald Trump, which is strange. Well, let's be clear. And an anonymous author, this came to us last night, an anonymous author is warning, portrays a president on the brink of a breakdown. Yeah, so hopefully people will see a normal person dealing with this problem as the accusations start to get real. And since you Trump supporters have always said, oh, it's all fake news, it's just a Russian hoax, it's all a witch hunt, since you use that as defense, it won't hold up in court. I've never heard that defense actually win a court case in my life. Of course, I'm not an attorney, but I doubt any one particular person could ever say, oh, it's all fake news, and get away with it. That won't ride in court, sorry. So Trump the stump is definitely here to stay. Does nothing because all he does is defend himself against all this attacks, and but poor Trump, he can't even do his job because he's being attacked. So why would we want him as our president next time around? For that matter, why would we want Joe Biden? Look at him. Do you see this picture of him holding the kids? And he was told not to do this kind of stuff. You see that? And look, it's just like he's still doing it. Yeah. So Joe, stop being around the kids, okay? I mean, if you want to run, apparently Joe Biden's the only guy that they say will beat Trump, based on the popular view right now. He's the only guy slated to be able to beat Trump. But the way he's behaving, come on, Joe. You're not going to be able to do that properly. And did you see this clip?
Period.
And that's not to leave out the men as well.
That's true. No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman for any reason other than self-defense, ever, period.
Does a man have a right to raise a hand to a woman, even in self-defense, you know? I've always been told never to ever raise a hand to a woman.
Well, if a woman's coming at you...
Well, you can run, too. It's like, don't hit me, please. It might be safer, because I know it's a mandatory arrest and 1-year prison sentence in California if you hit a woman. I mean, what the hell? It doesn't go both ways, in my opinion. I've always been told not to hit a woman. Oh, you have hot cocoa. Good. Reheat it. It's not okay for women to hit men, but it's just not okay, period, for a man to hit a woman, period. Threaten to kiss her? That sounds like sex abuse, Max. Well, I don't know, man. How many lesbian women do you hang around, and do you have a lot of dykes in France that you run into in your bars that you go to? But of course, we run into many French motorcyclists, lesbian women, who are very tough. Come on. No one should hit a woman, period. Now, this is really arousing some anger among the incels. Yeah, you people are really out there. You want to push your agenda. And you MGTOWs, too, men who've gone their own way, want to push your agenda every night. Hey, let's get an inspirational show going for the next 6 months of our viewership. Okay, we're going to be doing an impeachment thing, dedicating the show to impeachment for the next 6 months. Good night, I eat bugs. Sleep well, man. I hope you burp up your bugs. They don't get in your intestines or anything.
No, I'm sure there's plenty of protein.
They're protein, all right, but I don't recommend long-term eating of bugs. Okay, eat bugs. See me where? Where are you going to see me, Shadow? I don't play WoWs with you, no. No, I see. Stop hating on women, especially with a woman here. Okay, I asked you to stop doing that. My goodness, you got some serious issues, and chat is not working.
World of Warships.
Chat.
Not World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. All right. Well, I'll be back. I'm going to go have a bite. Did you have a bit of dinner?
She might say that to you too. Yeah, I did.
Seriously, I mean, cut it with the misogynist.
Just leave it. It's fine. Just
I don't like that. This is misogyny.
No. I know, I'm irked too. Sorry. But I should have checked it before I left. Ironically, the first one that I did was better. Like, the first mirror I did was the best. He was not half done. It only downloaded 32 megabytes out of the 635. And it just locked up. Well, I did. You want me to try another? Yeah, I suppose I could, right? Just open up a new tab and try another mirror. Ironically, that first mirror I did was probably the best. I already said that, didn't I? This one's coming along, actually. I'm going to leave it. Slowly getting there. It's about 17 minutes left. The first one that I did, I was like, I don't know, I stopped it or something. I know. No, never mind. I should try another mirror. Forget it. Now it's up to like, I don't know what happens. Oh, what am I downloading? I am downloading Arch Linux. Trying. Oh, are they in order of speed? Yours downloaded in 40 seconds. Are they in order of speed? The mirrors? Oh, they're in alphabetical order. What? You know what? Maybe I will try another mirror. It's like bouncing all over the place. It's slowly downloading, but it's still just... Yeah, I think something is wrong with my internet. I don't know what's wrong with it, but... could it be that I'm broadcasting on 4 different sites? That could be the problem. I will try the first American Mirror though. The very first one, just whatever it is, just try it. Why not? We'll see which one of these gets there first. Sarah, big eyebrows. Can me post my food I'm eat? I don't know what you're saying. You want to post a picture of the food you're eating? Oh yeah, that one, at least it's consistently faster. Because it says 7 minutes left and it already has downloaded 108. Yeah, it's consistently faster. Well, one is downloaded 228 out of the 635, and it says it's got 33 minutes left, and the other one's downloaded 136 out of the 635, and it says it has 5 minutes left. It's like the tortoise and the hare, which one will go? Yeah, I did shut down the NDI. Well, I restarted the computer, and I did not... Well, let me see. I am curious because I didn't restart it when I did that. But ironically, it's still showing it. I could have installed it in the time it's taken to download it. I could have just left the other one and not deleted it. Okay, remove that. Yeah, I'm installing Linux on a VirtualBox. Why are you saying oy vey? David's like all paranoid that I'll mess up his computer if I don't install it on a VirtualBox. And the only other computer I have to use is a 32-bit, not a 64-bit. So you're all saying that I should just get a new computer and do it with a 64-bit and just run an actual Linux machine and not see. Yes, I am downloading Arch Linux. Well, I was the one that didn't want to buy a new computer because I have this perfectly suitable computer sitting there, but then I can't like do Linux on it because David has certain old music editing things on it. Oh, the second mirror that I downloaded from is surpassing the other one. I know, and ironically, I think I bought both of these. What do you mean memory paging? Tough book for $100. Oh, the KFC cakes. Interesting. I've never seen those. And that's what Misanthropy is saying. Go ahead. Give it to me. Might as well. I'll just go get my credit card and buy it right now. And that's all I need. Just a laptop. And the laptop can, well, do I want a laptop or do I want a computer to run a server? Yeah, that's true. I could just bring it in, play with it, and then bring it. Yeah, that's true. I could take it in the other room and then bring it in here and not have to feel like I have to be here. Yeah, I could run a server on Raspberry Pi. I could just get one of those. But then I have to get a monitor with Raspberry Pi. And Trump Tart is like, we could have already been broadcasting with... Alright, this one's already downloaded. This other one's got 20 minutes left. So I'll get rid of this one. I'm going to cancel this other one. Thank God. Alright. Thank you for the advice. I'm going to open up the virtual machine. Actually, first I'm going to open up downloads and run the vMix desktop capture. Okay, and then I'm going to open up this. Should I get something with Windows 10 already on it? Or, I mean, I thought you guys were saying I should run a Linux machine, so. Okay, I can wipe Windows 10. Alright, so I have them both. True. Well, for now, I'm going to go forward. That's true. My last two computers were from... Come on. There we go. Alright. So here's my computer. Alright. And I already have this. So close out of that. Oh, a solid state drive. I will be a white hat eventually. Right now I'm just a newbie. So I'm not anything. I don't have a hat. I'm not good enough for a hat yet. Okay, tell me what I need to look for. I need an i5. I don't even think I have a visor. I think I have just like a thread, maybe, that I'm trying to hang on to before it blows away in the wind. i5 or better CPU. And then I need a solid state drive. And something else. ThinkPads. But when you say it's recommended for Linux, is it recommended for running servers? That's what I really want to do eventually is run my own server and run all my websites and run my own chat rooms and start building up and figuring out how to run servers. That's what I want to do eventually. All right. In the meantime, let me pull this up so you can actually see what I'm trying to do here. Actually, I need to close down on here.